Hello, buddy, mine's a fireman, and welcome back to another vlog. This is the update on the Fordson Power Major. You may notice there's no big fuck-off loader on it anymore. The loader is here. We took it off just to get some more clearance for painting it in there. These are the new wings for it. These were 200 quid for both, off Agri-Line, plus postage and whatever. Well, postage was free because it was over 200 quid. In here are all the injector lines that run off the pump. That's your throttle that allows more air in. This is where the fan, that's what the fan sits on, that end bit there. I'm showing the camera right now. It's a bit dark in here, unfortunately. Now this is my shit job of painting. This is the first undercoat it's had, so it's literally just been slapped on. The next coat up will get rid of some of these bits I've missed. Oh, you can't really tell on camera, but in real life there's little bits that you miss when you paint. So real life, on the second coat, that'll cover it all. Then it'll have a third coat just to give it some bulk, and then it'll have 3 coats of overcoat. So all in all it'll have 6 coats of paint, plus the varnish to go on top. So this is what a 4-cylinder engine looks like. These are the pistons in it. There's one there. There's all 4 of them. They go down to the crank. That's the pulley wheel. That's on the crankshaft itself. So this is what I've been working on for months. Well, about 2 months now. And the first slabs of paint have been slopped on. A lot of new stuff has arrived for this thing, like new wings. There's shit tons of new stuff upstairs. It's had new tachograph, drive, all that. A couple of things I need to get off is a couple of things on this I need to get off. There's something on the radiator I need to take off, and there's the exhaust. The exhaust is fine. Starter motor's down there still. That's the scrap pile right there. Ooh, what am I doing? Trying to zoom in. How do you zoom in? It won't let me zoom in. Right, okay. That's really weird. But yeah, there's sort of a pile of scrap under there. There's a pile of bits here that need to be moved into the bits that I need to keep and not get rid of. This extension lead ran to a generator outside, which I've just moved. So it's still looking good. The wings are going to replace these shitty things. I don't know what the fuck this is, but whoever welded that on, and whoever painted it as well, obviously didn't sand it down. It's rough as fuck. So they're all coming off. I need to re-drill the holes for the hydraulics for the loader onto the wings. There's a toolbox to go on the wings as well. The brake drums, one of the brake drums, I can't remember which one it has, the spring retractor, well no, the shoe retractor it's called, I think, or shoes, or the brake shoes, or whatever you want to fucking call it, that pulls the brake shoes back flat against the back of the drum. One of them snapped, so I've had to buy a new one of them, which meant for a bit it was running on just one brake, but before that it ran on none. I've cleaned the pump up a bit. As you can see, it's looking a little bit more shiny. Of course this one needs to come off this side here, because this is the one that's cracked. That one's welding, so I've got to take that nut off there, remove that hydraulic arm, put it over there, remove that plate, put it over there. Then that'll give me full clearance of here to paint. You can tell I've done a pretty rushed job as I've missed the back end, which I'll do later. I was just trying to see what needed cleaning on that, and I think that back end just wants a bit of a clean out. All of this wants to clean out here. This back bit, I'm going to try and see if I can't weld that up or just leave it and just put the seat up cover on top. I'm not too sure. But there's new back tyres coming for it, because there's no tread left on these. New back tyres, new tubes coming for this. I've bought everything else. The tyres are literally the only... these tyres on the back of here are probably the last things I need to get. There's a couple of small things I need to get, like minute small things that need doing, but other than that there's nothing really major anymore. I've done all the really hard work. I've just got to see why it won't stay in low range. So this is your high and low range shaft. Up is, which way's up? Up is low range, down is high. It goes into high and stays, but because the engine's been turned and all that, it's not going to go in. And I'm not messing with it to make it go in. So I need to just, I think I need to tighten it onto the shaft a bit harder. But it won't go into low, but it'll go into high quite happily. So that's another job. I've fixed all the steering. There is a new steering rod in here. There's a new steering rod plus worm in there. That was nearly 60 quid, and that is all new. So the steering should be good. And yeah, that's about it, I think. It may not sound a lot, but fucking hell, it took some time. As you can see, the tank mounts are off, where the battery sits is off. That needs cleaning and painting. I'll take them down with me and sort them out. The fan's been painted, the radiator wants paint. All it is now is cleaning and painting, really. The last sort of major jobs to do is to get these shitty wings off, get these tyres off. I know a place down the road that'll do them for us, they said, so we just got to jack it up and unbolt them. But I want to get the front done, so I can put the front wheels on. Front wheels are nearly finished, actually, in paint. They're looking quite good. I'll do an update video once these tyres are on, these wings are changed, or maybe once I've got to about here with painting, and it's maybe in top coat, or it's all in undercoat or whatever. I'll do another update video, but this has definitely got to come off, this one. This one's got the big crack on it there, so that one's coming off. And then hopefully it should be ready, it should be near ready for summer 2016, which I'm hoping. I'm so hoping it is, because I don't want to be working on it whilst the sun's out. I kind of like working on it when, I know it's a bit sunny now, but it's nearly 2 degrees, so it's not too warm. But I mean, when it gets warm, I want to be blasting around on this thing. So I've done a lot of work. It may not sound a lot, but I've done a lot. So tomorrow's job is, literally, when I get up here, well, tonight I'm going to do maybe just a bit of cleaning quickly. But I kind of want to get this sort of front portion here done, like another coat on it, and I want to get this valve set where the head sits. I either want to get that with that be the third coat it's had, so that should be okay, and then, or I want to get, which I think the third coat should be okay, and then I want to put the day after, which will be Monday when I come back from college. No, I can't do it after coming back from college. So either I put a third coat on it, or I put blue on it. I start painting it blue. But I've got the sump to paint as well down there. And then, but once I've got this sort of front portion from here to here painted, done, then it's going to be the big job from sort of this point back of cleaning and painting, like this front portion had, which should be okay-ish, which would be nice to have it done. Now there's a lot of bits I have missed, and there's a lot of bits that aren't being painted because, one, you're not going to see them, and second of all, they just don't need painting. Under here, that arm there, you're only ever going to see that when the steering wheel comes out. I may clean up to about there with it, so you've got plenty of when you move it, but I'm definitely not taking all this steering stuff out. I'll paint the sump, yeah, both sides. I'm sort of going to paint behind the pump as well, which you can't really see. That plate there with that blue on, paint behind there, but I'm not going any further. I'm not taking the pump off. The pump is, once you take the pump off, it's a timing and all that, because you upset the timing. Then get the front rebuilt. Everything for the front is done. The wheels are pretty much finished. The nose cone's been varnished, the tank's been varnished, the dashboard for the tank's been varnished, the gauges for the dash are in. What else? I just need to take a few things off that old nose cone there, put them on the new one. The gaskets are there for the cylinder head and all that jazz. The fan and all that wants painting. They'll be taken down tonight, and I'll do them tonight. The rocker box just needs 2 more coats of blue and then a varnish, and it's done. But I want to get this top portion here, or this side of the block and that top bit of the block, in blue and varnished, because once it's blue and varnished, the cylinder head can go back on. But I'm trying my best not to rush myself. I'm trying my best to just take it calm. I mean, it does. I mean, some bits look crap like that. But if you think there's a nose cone that sits on that square there, and then there's a radiator that sits here, so you're never really going to see it because the grills are in the radiator and the so you just won't see it. But to be fair, I don't think it's really going to go to too many shows. It may go to a few up near us, but nothing really. Not very far away, I don't think. It may go to the pub every now and then, but I don't want a posh tractor. I don't want something that looks brilliant, because then everyone will just be like, don't get it dirty and that, because then you have to clean it. But I want a tractor where I can just take it out of the shed, blast about on it, go through about 6 ton of mud, and then just, if I want to clean it, but if I don't want to, I don't want to. So I've had people say, oh, you should do it this way, and people have said take all the steering to bits and take all this off, and it's like, why? I'm only going to blast about on it, and in 2 or 3 years time it'll look exactly like it did when it arrived. So, well, not 2 or 3, maybe a couple more, but I kind of don't want to like make it too posh, because then I feel like it's out of place, and I want it to be that something I can get on, floor it everywhere, do what I want with it. I mean, it's mostly going to top our paddock as well. Yeah, it's a bit of a big tractor to top with. I mean, it's a bit long. If I had a little grey Fergie, they'd get in corners much easier. But this thing, but with having a loader on as well, we're going to try and get a bucket, or even make a bucket for it, which would be good. But some people don't like. Well, some people don't like the loader for them. I don't know why. They can't. Some people have said get rid of it and just keep it as a major. But then it leaves all these fucking holes here with these nuts in. I've just realised I've been filming like that for the last 10 minutes and talking. But it leaves these holes with these nuts in and stays, because that's where the other arm went. So the loader's staying on. I've made a decision. It's staying on. So yeah, hopefully before summer 2016. We should be near ready. I mean, even if it's got like 1 or 2 things aren't properly painted, I'm not too fussed. But yeah, so I'm gonna blast through this in this week. I'm gonna just go for it, annihilate it, paint it, because I want by Monday, I want at least have 2 coats of undercoat on all of this. Have the bits that I've missed painted and do all that stuff. I want to try and get that off at some point. I want to get the wheels done. The wings have still got to be painted in blue, but they're okay. They're not needed for now. I just need to do the essential bits that need to make the front work. So the fan needs to be painted again. That bracket there for the fan wants painting as well. The radiator wants painting. The drain cock off that wants putting on it. I've got new rubber hoses for it. With all I need to do on the rubber hoses is just take the clamps off. So yeah, it is going back together. But I know I said I'd do an update video ages. I said I've been doing an update video for fucking months, and I never got around to it. Well, about a month or so. But finally, the paint is going on. Once the paint goes on, it's just plain sailing back to finish. I mean, the back's going to be a bastard because there's moss and all that growing on it, but once the tyres off and the wings are off, it sort of becomes flat. So you can just annihilate it with a grinder and a wire brush. So, but I want to get this front finished, because once the front's finished, the back's plain sailing, because the front's got more components on, to be fair. But the next update video, hopefully the next update video, this should be all blue, and it should be finished. The nose cone should be on, the radiator should be in, the fan belt should be back on, that thing should be back on, the fan should be back on, the star motor, the dynamo, cylinder head, rocker box, and it should be finished. The front bit should be near complete by the time you see it next time. The wheels should be back on. I know it sounds a big challenge, but I've also got to try and balance this with my driving. If you didn't know, I passed my theory test yesterday, so I've got to try and, my test is not till April, but I've got to do a lot of practicing because I'm so used to just slinging the wheel around with a palm in my hand and just reversing, looking over my shoulder, you know, put your hand behind the passenger seat and doing it that way. But yeah, this thing is going to get finished whether it fucking kills me. It's going to get finished. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like down below if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more to date, and I shall see all of you in the next video. Happy